Hello, 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 hello. My name is NicholassRivas. I talk about politics and stuff, and today we're going to be talking about the whole Lizzo flute thing. This is stupid. Nobody cares about this. I had the same introduction with the whole Ariel, Little Mermaid change when they made the character Ariel black. It's no one cares about this. This is not a real topic. People who lie to you and say they care, they're lying to you. It's all farce. Anger politics at its core. The difference is though with this is that there's actual anger. Like nobody I think gave a damn, and even though those who care or claim to care are just doing it for clickbaity stuff. I'll get to actually what happened, but I just want to say like there is a difference between some real outrage and non-existent outrage, right? When the NyQuil chicken thing happened, where people were putting apparently NyQuil in their chicken, that was a shit post. Like I couldn't find anybody seriously doing it, and all I saw was the outrage. So I don't think there's a real clear line that is drawn when people are reporting on outrage versus the actual outrage. Like I think we've kind of lost our footing of ever seeing if there's actual outrage to be had or to be seen. With the Ariel thing, I just saw people bitching about it, right? But I didn't see anybody really defending it either. Like I didn't see people being like, "This is my Ariel." Like they're just like, "Oh, this is whatever." Like it seemed like the more like lefties, the more like libtards were like, "I just don't care," and then the conservatives were like, "This is taking my history," and it's like I could be being exaggeratory, I guess. Like I definitely could. I maybe one or two accounts, just like the NyQuil thing. I'm sure maybe someone did that, but as a movement, as a big thread, it didn't seem that apparent, right? But in the case of the flute situation with Lizzo, where she apparently played a flute that belonged to James Madison. I didn't see the clip because again, I don't care, but people do. People were mad that this historical figure's instrument that he used was being played by what seems to be a black woman, I guess. That's what the outrage felt like. They were saying it was, they were being desecrated, and his history was like kind of just being shot down by this random pop singer, which let's give more credit to Lizzo. She is a lot more talented than just, I mean, she's a classically trained flautist. Like she's not a nobody. And her popularity as like just as a pop singer is such a weird, like, who cares, like that she is infamous for making pop music. It's a fine genre of music. Like people have this like, oh, she needs to make hard rock metal from the Gongarian period of music. Like no one, there's no like echelon of high tier music. Like they don't have to be Bach, and if they are, cool, but that's not what people are listening to. And she is popular because she has a cool sound for the time, right? I'm sure if Duran Duran got up back in the 80s and did something historic, a lot of people would be like, ugh, remember the days when you had Chuck Berry? Like, it's always like just a time thing. Like her music itself is not the issue. It's probably a popularity thing. The thing with that mindset though is I brought up that people hated her for being black only because when I saw the likes of Ben Shabibos, he came out and said like, I don't mind black women doing this and it's not a black thing. And when he said that, I went, well, like, why do you have to point that out? Like, I didn't even think that was a situation. But when it clicked to me that a lot of conservatives are playing, they're like, look, it's not a race thing. It could have been a black singer who had some classical training and had some more like echelon, high tier, not this like ghetto music. Not to say she's ghetto because she's black. Like that's what I kind of saw a lot of. So part of me likes to think, okay, this outrage is non-existent, like it's not real. And honestly, I don't think it's real. I think a lot of the people who are mad are the talking head media elites who like to just stir the pot and get views and clicks and all of that. Ben Shabibo being one of them. The Jordan Petersons, Jordan Peterson didn't talk on this, but that kind of that subsect of the political media, these more fringe political figures who claim to not care about the woke left and their blah blah blah, but they are crying just as the woke left they portray. So when Ben Shabiba was going off about how his dad is a musical teacher and he's classically trained and we need to have a classically trained, Lizzo is that. Lizzo is a classically trained musician when he went out of his way to say there's, you know, we need, it's not because she's black. If you found a black woman who's just really good at making music, please use her. That's what Ben Shapibo said. Ben Shapibo was like, I'm cool with black women. I don't give a shit about that. It's more so that it's just some pop singer, but it's devaluing the singer. So all that being said, I don't want to just harp and say it is a race thing, because it possibly couldn't. It seems like a black thing, but I think that detracts from my main premise. I don't give a shit. You don't give a shit. Nobody cares. The only people who were outraged were the media heads, the media elites who like to complain and stir up, you know, trouble to get themselves some clickbaits. Even myself doing it. I wasn't going to make this video, but I'm like, well, it's going to have some great clickbait, so why not? You know? So, you know, but at least I have the goddamn forefront to be honest with you all that, like, Lizzo's name is big. This whole scandal is, you know, tearing up the news a bit. And I think there is some unrelated race stuff that we can look into, but then it makes me go, well, I don't care, and I don't think people care, well, enough to like make this a psychological deep dive into our race and how black women are mistreated or not cared for. You know, like maybe with another topic we can talk about this stuff, but right now over Lizzo just picking up a flute, all of these people are billionaires having fun making music, and we're fighting about their stupid optics. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me, and I think the Ben Shabibos just needed something to talk about for the week. So that's basically my whole spiel. If you disagree, please tell me, but I really don't even think people give a damn enough to disagree, like to care enough. But I could be wrong. I could always be wrong. There's always, you know, there's always somebody who tells me some stuff that I never seen, so I could be wrong on that. But it is what it is. I'll let the gameplay ride. Thank you all, and yabba dabba do.
Enemy action.
Yo, turn around.
Losing B. Losing Bravo. Multiple hostile sentry turrets working your AO. Enemy care package above. Multiple enemy care packages inbound. Enemy napalm strike incoming.
Gas mine armed. Enemy destroyed.
Artillery targeting detected. Artillery inbound. Securing Charlie. Multiple enemy sentry turrets active. Losing B. Losing Alpha. Victor is close. Wrap it up and let's go home. Enemy. C locked down. Securing B. Enemy took A. Mission complete. Clean up crews and